So fat is not so bad. I lied to you, it is good too, all right? So fat is very good. It just depends on which ones we choose. Now, fat is very necessary for our bodies, all right? So we need it to oil our joints just a little bit. Okay, fat is slippery. We use fat to lubricate our joints. Now, we also need it for our skin and our hair and for every other cell in our body. What fat does to the cell is it keeps the vitality of the cell. All right, it's like you have a shriveled, wrinkled up cell, and that fat is going to keep it nice and nourished and nice and plump. Okay, so you have that nice glowing skin, so you have that shiny hair. All right, so that's what fat does to a cell. Now, you also need it neurologically. So your brain sends messages from one part of your brain to another part of your brain, and also from your brain to different parts of your body. So fat helps it conduct that electricity, helps it to work, all right? Now we also need it hormonally, all right? So fat finds a home within your hormones, and it helps you balance out your hormones, so we need it for that too. Now we've also seen that we need it to see so we can lower our cholesterol, and we need it, we can use it for a vasodilator. What's a vasodilator? We'll have a look in a sec. And it's also very slow digesting. It's a very slow fuel which we can use in our favour if we use it correctly. So let's have a look at what a vasodilator is. Now we're looking at performance here, okay? We go to the gym now, we know that's a good thing to do. Now we're looking at how fat can help us increase our performance. So put fats into your body, watch it break down. Doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad. For a vasodilator that works the same way. They turn into fatty acids, and they start to, the muscle is pumping and it starts to go toward the muscle. Now what happens when you have fat in your bloodstream, it starts to open up your arterial walls, all right? So it starts to make them thicker and nice and big. So you see people that, for example, like a bodybuilder that goes on stage, puts fats in there before it, you see it start to swell up his veins. Now what happens when you do that is you increase that blood flow there. So I'm trying to do a workout and I want to get as much fuel to my muscles as possible, and fat's going to open it up and help me get all the other nutrients there as well. And it gives a massive muscle pump, all right? So I like to put, say, my whole day's worth of, I believe in fish oils quite a lot, so you have your capsules of omega-3, 6, 9s, you have your plant oils, you have your fish oils. Now I put my whole day's worth, half an hour just before I train, and I get a good pump from that. Yeah, I don't like those pre-workouts. I like I just use my fish oils of it and a lot of water as well. Now it gives you that good vascular pump and makes it so much easier for you to work out. All right? So if you're going to do it, if you want to put some fats into your body, you can have it 30 minutes before your exercise, a nice little tip there. Now, fats are also good because they're slow digesting. So we put it into our bodies the same way, and it doesn't have this insulin response, so you're not going to see a pancreas here. All right, so it's a very long time it's a very slow job, it's low on the priority list, and these fatty acids take a long time to digest as well, very cumbersome, a lot of calories there. And while they're in your bloodstream, they'll just float around your bloodstream for a very long time, all right? Because it doesn't have that insulin hormone, doesn't have that desperate storage. So it's just going to stay there within your bloodstream, and it's just going to slowly feed your hair, you're going to feed your brain, going to feed your neurological system and all your joints. Now, just say, the same as we had a look at a high protein diet, your liver thinks, okay, well, I'm low on fuel, and I need that carbohydrate, I need that glucose. Now, in exactly the same way, and it's called the same thing, you can create, your liver is smart enough to create a sugar from your dietary fats. Okay, so very slowly, you can use that fat for exercise. Now, why we want to use fat for fuel for exercise? What kind of exercise would this fat be useful for? People that go on long treks. Now, remember the metabolism of fat is very slow. Now, some people that go on long treks, and some people have things where they go on like a massive bushwalk or like 4 hours trek walking up a mountain, or some people have long walks. They go on those funny, like a marathon walk or something, or they go on those 100-kilometer bike rides. Now, fat would work very good for that kind of exercise, but not everyone does that. But everyone does go to sleep. Now, that's maybe not as much as what they need to, but everyone gets some sleep. Now, that's the longest time, well, hopefully the longest time that you go without any fuel. So that slow digesting fat is going to be the most useful for you before you go to sleep. So this brings us to the timing of fats. All right, so they've got 3 different timing of fats. Have it half an hour before you work out. Have it just before you go to bed, and try to separate your carbohydrates from your fats, and that's the timing for it.